Recently, Tianjin hosted the 2024 Shenzhou Funeral Technology and Culture Festival, which included a funeral clothing brand launch event, grandly named the Second China International Life Fashion Show. Banners at the event displayed slogans like "The Last Outfit of Your Life." The launch showcased hundreds of funeral garments, mourning clothes, and burial dresses. The video showed young male and female fashion models walking the runway in various brands of funeral clothing, including cheongsams, suits, Hanfu, Tang suits, and Zhongshan suits, along with many stylish designs. Various high-end and elegant funeral garments were on display, competing for attention. The organizer stated that the exhibition used artistic creations to vividly showcase funeral concepts, promoting new trends in green and civilized funerals. However, many people expressed shock, finding it creepy that live models were showcasing funeral clothes. A young man in the video commented,
In Tianjin, we held a Chinese funeral clothing fashion show. Some say it's unlucky, others say it breaks traditions. As a materialist, I have three thoughts. First, the clothes look too good. I must wear one before I die. Second, once I choose a nice funeral outfit, I must maintain a good figure until I die. Third, I need to wear it while alive. After I'm dead, I can't post it on social media for likes and comments. That would be a waste of money. There's a magical section, the China International Life Fashion Show, which is actually a funeral clothing fashion show with male and female models. Many people came to watch. Some joke that these models must have strong mental fortitude and should get red envelopes after the show. Shouldn't the models be lying down, carried out by specialists to see the effect? Walking around looks scary. Maybe they should be hopping out, or they should use older models, not young ones. This burial clothing is too flashy and is not solemn enough. Also, it's difficult to sell at this funeral expo. You can't exactly ask customers, how many of these would you like to prepare for your family members?
Another commenter said, "When I was young, I asked my mom if she had ever worn funeral clothes. She spanked me. Times have changed. Now all these models have worn them. These funeral clothes are too flashy, not solemn enough. This funeral expo is also hard to market. You can't ask customers how many they want to prepare for their family members." At the entrance of the exhibition, you can see large banners promoting civilized funerals, ecological funerals, benefit funerals, and technology funerals. Inside, there were flowers, various funeral clothes, statues for graves, a variety of tombstones, and cemetery landscaping. The exhibition area was too large to explore fully. Despite the economic downturn in China and the ongoing pandemic over the years, the funeral industry has not declined. Recently, Tianjin held the Shenzhou Funeral Technology and Culture Festival, featuring the funeral clothing fashion show, which sparked significant online discussion, with people suggesting that efforts to boost domestic demand have become extreme. If the living can't boost demand, the dead will have to give it a try. The event also showcased funeral vehicles, with exhibitors saying that even a large person could fit easily. The hearse could cool from 30 degrees to 0 degrees within 30 minutes. Various funeral hall decorations, expensive urns, and giant coffins priced at $2.4 million made of special wood were on display, though these were labeled for export only. Online commentators joked about the high prices, questioning the need for such items when only cremation is allowed in China. Additionally, there were various eternal lamps, printers for creating elegiac couplets, AI portrait photography for memorials, and freezing equipment, essentially corpse freezers. Also on sale were urn packaging machines and even a more expensive incinerator costing 2.6 million RMB or $360,000, seemingly intended for large-scale cremation and packaging operations. High-tech unmanned corpse transport vehicles and various luxury hearses were meticulously crafted to transport urns, with a specially designed longevity seat to secure the urn. The exhibitors mentioned that many first-tier cities are already using such equipment. Some people joked that it was chilling to watch and speculated that these might have been used during the COVID-19 pandemic. Online commentators shared various reactions. "This is novel. You live long enough, you see everything." "It overturns my understanding." "Terrifying. The living and the dead are in different worlds." "Disco on the grave, hearse drifting, nothing good." "A magical demon land, even the dead's money is extorted." Some criticized the Chinese Communist Party for corrupting Chinese society. The CCP has no bottom line. Demons run amok, monsters swarm, and inside the walls is a demon's paradise. Only profit, no respect for life. Unbelievable, there's this kind of exhibition. vaccine deaths, organ harvesting, highest mortality rate in the world. Powerful country indeed. The social atmosphere is indeed reversed. It should advocate for filial piety while alive. Once a person is gone, they know nothing, and this is all for show. The purpose of this exhibition is not pure. Over the past 2 years, traditional Chinese clothing has become popular, but now it's turned into a funeral fashion show, which is detrimental to the promotion of traditional clothing. Genuine traditional funeral garments should not expose arms or legs. This move is similar to the ancient times when linen was deliberately made into mourning clothes to hinder the industry. The funeral industry is highly profitable, and this exhibition is essentially a trade show for funeral service providers. To make money, one must think outside the box. This world has truly overturned my imagination. Isn't there a ban on extravagant funerals in this country? Coffins cost tens of thousands, tombstones also tens of thousands, funeral clothes thousands or even tens of thousands. Without tens of thousands, one can't even afford to die. Chinese people traditionally believe in treating the deceased well, ensuring they're buried properly and grandly, making the funeral industry in China extremely lucrative. Before the Qingming festival this year, an experienced funeral professional revealed that the business with the dead can yield profits of up to 1,000%. Someone who calls herself Red Sister, an 8-year veteran in the funeral industry, talked about the substantial profits of funeral service companies. A standard 7-piece funeral clothing set, cloak, cotton jacket, cotton pants, shirt, trouser, single jacket, single pants, costs 200 RMB or $28 and can be sold in stores for over 2,000 RMB, $280, far exceeding traditional clothing profits. An ordinary urn costing less than 100 RMB or $14 can be sold for 888 RMB, $124. If the material and craftsmanship are higher quality, like pine wood and marble, they can sell for thousands, while urns inlaid with jade and diamonds can sell for 100,000 to 200,000 RMB, or 14,000 to 28,000 US. Moreover, funeral service prices are relatively flexible. Unlike funeral products with clear price tags, these prices are determined by 2 factors. 1. The technical level of the service personnel's restoration skills. 2. The economic strength of the client. For example, if the deceased suffered a ruptured abdomen due to a car accident and needs stitching, this can cost tens of thousands of RMB. Funeral service items are also numerous, primarily including dressing, cosmetic restoration, embalming, and massage. In simple terms, all services except cremation can be handled by the company. Additionally, cemetery plots in mainland China are more expensive than housing, leading to a booming death economy, with phenomena such as cemetery speculation, hoarding, and illegal modifications. There are even investors known as grave speculators. According to mainland media, the area of burial plots for ashes generally does not exceed 1 square meter. In Shanghai, a high-end cemetery plot sells for nearly 40,000 US, and the average price is about 10,000 US. Recently, a netizen visiting a cemetery saw a disturbing sight. Workers in neat uniforms and gloves were exhuming urns from graves. This shocking scene revealed that urns were being dug up and resold due to unpaid management fees. The graves became empty shells, waiting to be reused and adorned again. This underscores why the Tianjin government prominently hosted this funeral culture festival. In a society driven by money, amid economic decline, high unemployment, reduced consumer spending, aging population, and the COVID-19 pandemic, the funeral industry has become a lucrative business. High unemployment rates lead young people to join the funeral industry. The funeral industry is seen as a sunrise industry, attracting the younger generation of atheistic Chinese. Rather than struggling in declining professional fields, many are turning to the funeral industry. According to the Ministry of Civil Affairs, by the end of 2021, there were over 4,000 funeral service institutions nationwide, with 87,000 employees. Young people born in the 90s are entering the industry. Despite facing fear, misunderstanding, prejudice, and even discrimination, societal and familial acceptance is increasing. With rising youth unemployment and fierce job competition, the Guangzhou Funeral Service Center recently hired 3 cremation workers, including graduates from Guangdong University of Technology's Polymer Materials and Engineering Department, South China University of Technology's Architecture Department, and a master's graduate in Buddhist Studies from the Chinese University of Hong Kong. This sparked debate online. Many lamented the difficulty of job hunting for Chinese graduates, noting that even graduates from prestigious universities are competing for cremation jobs. Some defended the profession, stating that all jobs are dignified as long as they are legal and well compensated. People became curious about the compensation for cremation workers in Guangzhou. Reports from a 2017 recruitment announcement by the Guangzhou Funeral Service Center indicated that the center handles over 30,000 bodies annually, making it one of the busiest comprehensive funeral service institutions globally. The salaries for positions involving contact with bodies, such as in the embalming and cremation departments, were 3,500 RMB per month during the probation period, with an annual salary of about 100,000 RMB after signing a contract, along with the standard social securities payments. The announcement mentioned that after 3 years of excellent performance, employees could enjoy special talent policies for household registration in Guangzhou and be eligible to participate in public institution recruitment for permanent positions. The all-in-one funeral services industry finds it hard to make money from the living, but easily profits from the dead. Although the phrase making money from the dead may sound distasteful, the funeral industry indeed has abundant opportunities for profit. Weddings and funerals are significant events in a Chinese person's life, and many are willing to spend generously to ensure that they are conducted properly. From the moment a person dies at home or in a hospital, there are numerous costs associated with transporting the body, preparing the remains, cremation, and so on. Transporting the body costs money, cremation costs money, and urns cost money. While many positions in this industry have basic salaries, numerous aspects of the process are highly profitable. Urns are one of the biggest profit points. According to media reports, one business owner mentioned that while cheap can be bought for 1 to 2,000 RMB, the prices for high-end urns are limitless due to the different grades of wood, such as rosewood, redwood, Zambian wood, sandalwood, ebony, and even gold thread nanmu. These urns can be inlaid with gold and silver, and their luxury surpasses imagination. Generating more income often involves illegal all-in-one funeral services. These services exploit the information asymmetry and the emotional vulnerability of grieving families. Industry insiders explain that while a proper funeral service at a funeral parlor might cost 5,000 RMB, illegal all-in-one services often target families while the deceased is still in the hospital. They exploit the notion that the deceased should be treated with utmost respect to charge several times more, although most of the work is still done by the funeral parlor. The illegal service providers pocket most of the profit by only handling coordination and negotiations. A young man working at a funeral parlor revealed that special corpse preparation services are charged higher due to the complexities involved. Those running illegal all-in-one services often stir up trouble, inciting conflicts between the families and the funeral parlor staff, ultimately taking over the business. Some new graduates entering the industry feel disillusioned by these practices and may eventually consider starting their own all-in-one funeral service companies. What should be a dignified and respectful service for the deceased has lost its original value and respect, becoming more about chasing high profits. The number of cremations in China and the difficulty in estimating the death toll during the COVID-19 pandemic highlight significant challenges. According to the Chinese National Bureau of Statistics, in 2022, China had a total birth rate of only 9.6 million people, while the death toll reached 10.4 million people, averaging 28,500 deaths per day. Experts predict that the death rate will continue to rise over the next decade, potentially doubling. As of 2022, 19.8% of China's population was over 60 years old, and this aging trend has significantly increased the demand for funeral services, driving the market size of the funeral industry to 310.2 billion RMB, or $43.4 billion US dollars. These figures reflect the normal situation, but during the COVID-19 pandemic, the official numbers and the actual situation at crematoriums differed significantly. Multiple media outlets reported that after the Chinese government lifted the stringent zero-COVID policy, crematoriums across the country were overwhelmed. Associated Press reporter Da Kekong visited the Dongjiao Funeral Home and Crematorium in Beijing, designated for COVID-19 victims. He noted people were pushing out coffins, reading the names of the deceased, while 20 or so people stood waiting outside. Store employees nearby confirmed an increase in foot traffic, with estimates of 50 to 100 cremations per day compared to the usual dozens. AFP reported similar situations from the northeast to the southwest of China. Crematorium staff mentioned being overwhelmed by the rising number of deaths. About 700 kilometers northeast of Beijing, a funeral home employee said some bodies had been left for up to 5 days. He said the crematorium is completely full, noting that he had never seen such a situation before. In some parts of Shanghai, there are reports that crematoriums segregate the rich from the poor. The ashes of the poor are cremated together, while the wealthy or well-connected receive proper arrangements. A friend from Dalian mentioned past incidents of stealing burial items from cremated bodies and selling usable organs from deceased individuals. Over the years, the Chinese government has advocated for thick support, thin burial, emphasizing the importance of filial piety while the elderly are alive rather than extravagant funerals. The goal is to make thick support, thin burial a societal norm. In contrast, the extravagant funeral expo hosted by the Tianjin government raises questions about the Chinese Communist Party's motives, suggesting financial desperation, as even the money from the dead is being sought.